Welcome, beautiful people. Little technical difficulty there, but we are here. We are live, and it is the color of beautiful after dark. So glad you're here with me. Let me know that you're here. Those of you that will watch on the replay, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here for the color of beautiful after dark. And today is one of my favorite subjects from the blog today, and it's it's one of my favorites because it's a question that we ask ourselves so many times when we're doing things. What's the worst that could happen, right? What's the worst that could happen? And one time I heard someone say, when they asked the question, what's the worst that could happen, and she said they could say yes. We always say, what's the worst that could happen? They could say no, but the worst could be, hey, they say yes. They actually say yes. And so when we think about this, what's the worst that could happen? Many times we don't do things because we're so focused on the no's. We're so focused on the things that could happen if we take a step and we do certain things, if we exercise our courage, if we exercise our self confidence. Many times we're focused on the no, we're focused on what's going to happen that we don't want to happen. And we get so focused on that. We get so focused on the possible fail, what we consider fail. We get so focused on the fail that we don't even move ahead and try. So when you want to ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And if even if one thing that the blog post does say is to actually lay out what's the worst that could happen. And sometimes when you do that and you look at it and you realize that's probably not going to happen. But even if it does happen, I had the courage, I had the self-confidence to put something into action. There are going to be no's. There are going to be things that, we consider failures, which we know are really learning lessons that, okay, that didn't work. But let's try something else. Let's try something else. Let's see what possibly can work. So we muster up that courage and that self confidence to say, okay, so the worst that could happen is they say no, but they actually might say yes. And if they do say no, just because A said no doesn't mean B will say no. So we continue to pursue in even the face of the most difficult times, the most challenging times. We pursue. And so even when you look at what that worst possible situation is, we tend to fear the unknown, is what we're really fearing. We're really fearing the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know how people are going to respond, or what people are going to react to or not react to, or how something's going to turn out. But nonetheless, we get that courage, we get that self-confidence, and we talked about yesterday how it's a balancing act with that. We're talking about beautifully balanced, not perfect, but as close to being aware and in the given moment to know what's going on around us and what's happening with us. And okay, this is something I decide I want to step out and do, and what's the worst that could happen? So they say no. So I look at it and I see what maybe I could have done differently that could have gotten a yes, or I try someone else. I try a different method. I try a different road, but never giving up, still mustering that courage and still understanding that no has a lot of different meanings. No could mean not right now. No could mean it's not for me, because the other thing that we do have to understand is that we are not for everyone. We're not for everyone. I know I'm not for everyone. There's a certain tribe, there's a certain group of people that I'm for. And those that I'm not for, that's okay. because there's so many of us out here doing so many different things that you will find the person, you will find your audience, your tribe, your people who are for you, who you belong to, and they belong to you. So we have to understand the different things, the different processes that we go through, and understanding who we're for and who's for us. And those that are not, it's okay. But I will continue to attract those who are for me. So no might mean no, I'm not for you. And that's okay. And we have to be okay with the no's. We have to be okay with the no's. And we have to have an understanding of what the no really is. The no really is that I'm just not your people, which, that's cool because we all have our people, right? We all have our people that we are, that attract us, that are just who the people we are supposed to talk to, minister to, be a voice for. So as you get ready to wind down and get ready to take your rest, think about those things that you've been putting off doing, that you know you were destined to do, that are your deep core inner dreams. What's the worst that could happen? Write the book. What's the worst that can happen? There will be people who will buy it. Do the screenplay, write the play, whatever it is. Do the talk, do the live, do the whatever it is that you need to do. And just know that you will find your people and your people will find you. And what's the worst that could happen? You succeed, right? So as you take your rest tonight, think about, what am I putting off doing? What am I fearing the unknown about? And just take that step forward and do it and get ready to walk in your destiny, because you are amazing. You are phenomenal. You are worthy. We say it loud. You know how we do. We say it loud. We wear it proud. I am the color of beautiful. I'm Dr. Karen Moore. Have a blessed, blessed, blessed night.